What's up guys, and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, we are doing a holy grail makeup tutorial. You guys voted on my Instagram poll as well as my YouTube community board poll, and literally both with flying colors on both platforms, you guys voted for the holy grail makeup video, which I'm very excited about because I've never done any sort of holy grail makeup tutorial. So I'm just really excited that I can finally say that I have products that are holy grail, but also just like film the video for you guys, because I feel like this is the makeup look that I wear out in public like more than anything else. I don't know what else I want to do or like whatever. This is what I typically go for. So I'm really excited that I finally have an answer for all of you asking. I could just guide you to this video. So if you want to be a part of basically future polls and you want to say in what I film on my channel, make sure to always be following my community board. But more importantly, make sure to be following me on Instagram, because that is typically where I do ask a lot of you what I should do next. So if you guys want to see how I achieve this look and what my holy grail makeup products are, then just keep watching because we're gonna get started. So first I'm gonna talk about my primer that I use. Let me tell you that for years I never thought primer. I don't even know how to vocalize this, because I was just I never found a primer that I liked enough to say, yeah, this is my holy grail primer, until just recently, or maybe, I don't know, maybe it's been like 2 months. I finally tried this primer and I saw a major difference like the first day. So that tells you it's pretty tried and true. Like if you notice a difference on a product that you just really never cared that much about and you are like raving about it, I feel like that makes it a holy grail, because I am never going back, like literally. So this is the Dr. Brandt Pores No More primer. If you have oily skin like I do and like large pores, you need this. I don't know how else to explain it other than like go buy this now. Yeah, it's just that amazing. So all I do with this is I do one pump, because it is like a nice pump here, so you can literally get every single ounce of product out of that, which I love. That's very important to me. And all I do is just kind of place it in the areas of my T-zone where I get kind of oily, and then it's really great for texture as well. So I do have some like texture around my face that I'll just kind of rub, and it does help even out that texture and fill in the pores, and just like, oh my gosh, never going. Alright, so next product is foundation. I can't explain to you how excited I am about the fact that I found my holy grail foundation. My number one question, especially in public, which I think says a lot, is what foundation are you wearing? Your skin looks incredible. And that is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation. Some of you've been like, been there, heard about it, tried it, whatever. I am telling you that if you want full coverage and you want it to last all day, this is your product. This is absolutely, without a doubt, my favorite foundation I have ever tried in my entire freaking life. It is gold. I'm never going back. And I'm telling you, I've tried so many foundations and this is the number one. Like, I can't tell. And you've probably heard it so many times, but you've never tried it. Go try it. Like seriously, I finally just bit the bullet last year and I was like, oh my God, my skin, it's just, I can't even explain. Like, even oily skin girls, listen up, pay attention. Here it is. I'm handing it to you on a silver platter. It's right here. There are no other foundations for you. This is it. And also, since we're speaking about like foundation and how to apply, I think it's really important that I tell you I found my holy grail tool as well. So the thing that I love to apply my foundation with is going to shock you. You have probably always seen me use a sponge on my channel, because that's just so far what I've found best. No, literally, this is my absolute, I can't believe I'm saying this because I don't like brushes, but this foundation brush is perfection. Like literally, it is perfect. This is the Dalton number 9 foundation brush. Let me just say that not only does it put my foundation on much faster than a beauty blender, but it does it as smooth as a beauty blender. Like, it looks airbrushed, it's beautiful. I'm gonna show you guys. I mean, it literally puts it on so quickly. Yes, I'm using a darker shade, I have a tan on. Can we just like, I can't even believe how quickly my foundation goes on with this brush. So smooth, I mean buttery smooth. It looks incredible. I can't get over it. I don't even have to touch it up with a beauty blender. Like usually when I try a brush, it will look so cakey and I'll have to like touch it up with a beauty blender after. Not with this brush. I'm not even kidding you. I'm shocked that I'm even putting a brush like for foundation on my Holy Grail, because I just can't believe that there's a brush out there that I actually really like. Like it shocks me probably more than it shocks you, because you might not know how much I hate brushes, but like I hate foundation brushes. And so I was so hesitant to try this, but I'm telling you, if you do not buy this brush, you will regret it. It works also too so beautifully with this foundation. Like, sometimes I think it's hard to find the right tool to use with a foundation. I can't believe how quickly I put this on my face, and it's beautiful. It's like so freaking, I can't even with it. And I don't know, there's just nothing better than this brush. This next product, I'm just gonna be really quick about it because you're probably so sick of me talking about it. I talk about it in like every video where I do, pretty much every video. I'm not even gonna lie about that. This is the Tarte Double Duty. This is the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. And I'm telling you guys, I don't really have anything much else I can say about it. I talk about this in every video, so there is something to be said about that, I feel like. But this is just kind of what I do on an everyday basis, is brighten the center of my face with it, and then I will take my Prctk blending sponge and blend that all out. So what I like about the Prctk blending sponge is that it goes right, it just fits nicely in the corners, like under your eye. It has a great shape to it. It still has a lot of cushiony bounce to help like really blend stuff out when it's damp, but it still is a little bit firm, so you're not like completely just, it's not too spongy. Does that make sense? I don't know. But anyways, yes, love this sponge so much. I use this every single time I do my concealer, and then with the next step as well, and it just makes such a huge difference. This next step is something that maybe you are not doing, and you should be, because it makes a huge difference on how your foundation lasts and how everything looks, how airbrushed it looks. I just think this is such an important step that some people are not doing, and you need to be. So this is the Ben Nye Neutral Set Colorless Powder. I think I've talked about this a couple other times in a few other reviews, but this is my holy grail setting powder. Nothing compares to it. It's so lightweight, there's no flashback, it doesn't look white under your eyes, it is pure perfection. So what I do is I dump a little bit in the lid. The only thing I hate about it is really the design of the bottle, because it's not ideal. I really would have preferred a different design or like a wider opening. So what I do is I take the tip of my sponge and I just dip it into the lid. There's gonna be fallout, it's powder, it's fine, it doesn't stain, it's colorless. And I just start to kind of edge out my nose a little bit to try to shrink it. But this is also going to help set that concealer so your concealer doesn't crease, and it also helps kind of airbrush your pores, so it just sort of, I mean, I'm telling you, it covers up those pores and it's like you don't have any, which is everybody's dream, I think. So literally I just set under there like that, and I love it. Same thing with like the other side. I just kind of like to make my nose appear smaller, and I just take whatever is left and like pat that into my pores, and it's literally like my pores don't exist, and I love that. Now, if you're not really into the whole contouring part and you don't want to do this, that's fine. You could literally just dip the sponge in and set it out and make sure that's all nice and blended out, and then move on with your routine. But I personally, this is just like my holy grail makeup look, and I love it, and I like to make my nose look smaller. So that's just me, I don't know. So my next step is very important, again, especially when you have oily skin and you want a full coverage makeup look. I'm going to use a loose foundation powder to set the rest of my face everywhere I didn't put my setting powder. So I've been just absolutely loving the Hailey's Beauty Restart Mineral Makeup to set my foundation, and the brush that I love to use for this whole step of my makeup routine is from Benefit. This is what it looks like. I don't know if they still carry this or this is just like a limited edition type thing, so if I can find it, I will link it down below as I'm doing with everything else. The reason I love it is because it's just so fluffy and it's not condensed, so where like when you put powder down it leaves a mark, or like eventually we are going to wipe away this white powder, and this is just for some reason been my go-to brush for doing so. I love it. It's just, I don't know, it's something I keep reaching for. So in my opinion, that goes to show me that is like a holy grail brush that I love. It's perfect. So I literally just put a tiny bit of this powder. I don't use very much at all, and just kind of like swirl the brush in there, tap off excess, and I just sort of like go in and just set, you know, everywhere. It adds a little bit extra layer for if you start getting oily. and it also adds just a little bit more coverage. So if you like the full coverage routine like me, then I think you'll really end up liking this. So my next step is more of kind of a contouring. I love to do just a little bit of a contouring on my cheeks and along my nose. So my holy grail bronzer for that is the Benefit Hoola bronzer. I just haven't found anything that complements my skin tone as much as this does, and I just love the formula of it. I think it's incredible. I don't know. There's just not really too much else I could say about it because I just think it's such a wonderful bronzing product. The brush that I use for this is the Sigma F05 brush. I love how small and compact this is. It gets just right nicely into the hollows of your cheek to create that perfect like shadowy effect. Almost make it look like your cheeks just naturally are like that. I have tried other bronzing brushes in between, and I always go back to this. So usually I just kind of put a little bit on the brush and just kind of focus it closer to my hairline to create a nice like shadowy effect, and then I'll kind of drag it a little bit closer once we've used some product. But I don't know, there's something about this brush that I just keep going back to. Again, I think I also have a, hopefully it's still active, a Sigma code, so I think you guys can get 10% off of any of these Sigma brushes that I'm talking about, because they are a little pricier. They're not cheap, but I'm telling you, like, if I find a brush that works really well, like, just trust me, that's like the brush, you know? And then since we're contouring our nose a little bit, I'll take that Benefit Hoola bronzer, and then I go in with a Sigma large shader brush. It's the E60, so it looks like this. It's flat, but a little bit longer bristles, and just very lightly brush the bristles in there, and I'll go along the edges of my nose with whatever is on there to add like a little bit of a contour. I'm seriously like not too much product at all. So lightly I went into that pan, and I just kind of create like some shadowing on my nose. So nothing crazy, but I like this brush for doing that type of just chiseled contouring. For some reason it's an eye brush, but I'm telling you, it's my absolute favorite for contouring. And then I will go in with the Sigma E55 shader brush, so it is a shorter bristle but still flat, and I will take some setting powder and I'm going to go along the center of my nose just to thin it out even more. Dip it into that cap there and just kind of run it along the very center of my nose. Now, I don't typically use a highlighter every single day, but because this is a holy grail makeup tutorial, I do want to talk about what my holy grail highlighter is, and that is the Becca Cosmetics Pearl Highlighter. This highlighter is just so beautiful. It's kind of a white shade, so if you do if white's too pale for you, this may not work, but for me it's perfect. And the brush that I use is actually a setting brush, but I love it so much for highlighting. So this is the Real Techniques setting brush, and for some reason this is my go-to highlighting brush. I don't know what it is about it, I just absolutely love it. So I'll kind of just like take that along my cheekbone, just where the light hits nicely. If I do want to do a little bit of a highlighter, I don't often do it every day for an everyday makeup look, but I really like, for some reason this brush is perfect. I think I have pretty large cheeks, so for me it works really well, and I don't know, I can place it wherever I want, but I just really like that highlighter. It's glowy enough. You can build it up or you can do it lightly and it still shows up regardless. So now that that's been sitting for a while, I'm just going to take this brush and I'm going to wipe away the excess. I love this brush for this type of work on my face, I guess. It's perfect. So you can use that same E55 brush and take that highlighter, and again, just kind of go, I don't go all the way down on my nose, I'll just kind of stick up here in the center, and then I'll just do a little bit on the tip to help kind of, I don't know, lift it a little bit. Finally, for my face, finish off everything I do with my face and my foundation and all that, I use the Sigma Cor-De-Rosa Aura Powder face powder. It is just the perfect blush shade. I think I've talked about it before in past videos, but whenever I think of like what blush am I going to take when I'm packing or I'm going on a vacation and, you know, I can only bring one blush, or I just want to only bring one of everything, this is the thing that I always reach for because it's just so beautiful. And the brush that I use, crazily enough, is a Bow Bell brush. It is a B4. For some reason, I just love the shape of it. I think that it works so perfectly when you want to blend your contour and your blush and your highlight all together. It's just big enough to do that. So I just put a little bit of blush on the head of this and I just kind of like stipple it on the cheek and into the bronzer, and I think it just adds the prettiest pop of color. So like natural looking, you don't really need a whole lot. It's just so pretty. I don't know, so I always reach for this one. So I will try to link that down below as well for you guys, because again, I think I hope my Sigma link still works. I don't know, but I think it does. I just love that pop of color, and I feel like every time I wear this blush in videos, someone asks me, what blush are you wearing? And it's usually always this Sigma blush right here. So this step I actually do once I'm finished doing my foundation and everything, and that is to like set it all. And so there really isn't any other option for this for a setting spray. It is the Urban Decay setting spray. Let me tell you, it does make a difference. I feel like there's people out there who are like, that doesn't really do anything for me, like blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, seriously, try it and then stop using it and you will see the difference. I did that and I was like, whoa, like this actually does work so well. So yeah, I do actually think this is just above and beyond the best setting spray for me, at least. I mean, I could literally like wear makeup for 7 days straight. I would not do that. My pores would hate me. It is incredible. So I just kind of, you know, I give a good spray. I like to douse the face in the setting spray to make sure it's good. I love it. Ah, it's so perfect. All right, so I'm just so excited about this next part because I'm just so happy to say I have a holy grail for my brows now, and that is, it's a mix of 2 products. So first of all, I just feel like I cannot do my brows without priming them. So the Benefit Browvo Conditioning Primer is everything. I mean, if you seriously think that you're okay without priming your brows beforehand, but then you go and you try it, you'll be like, why have I not been doing this the whole time? Like literally, I love this product so much. It's just so, I don't know, it's so perfect, and it makes for a clean, smooth canvas. I mean, you prime your face, why wouldn't you prime your brows? I don't know. The next thing is something I'm so excited about. Like literally, I'm so excited about. I cannot believe I don't know what I've been doing. I don't know where I've been, what my life was like beforehand. Urban Decay Brow Blade. It is new, but let me tell you that when you try it for the first time, you will be like, where has this been all of my life? I don't understand what I did before. I do not get it. It is so perfect. It has an ink stain on one side, so it mimics like brow strokes and microblading, whatever. It's supposed to, you know, do that. And then on the other side, it has like a waterproof pencil, so super fine and thin and just so freaking perfect. I'm not gonna sit here and do all my brows on camera. That would take forever. I have no brows whatsoever, so when I do my brows, if you want to see a brow tutorial, because that would probably take like 10 to 20 minutes to show you guys, comment down below or give this video a like if you want to see that, because I'm just not going to sit here and waste your entire day with me doing my brows, because like that's how long it takes. I do want to show you guys just a quick tutorial on how I start that process, so I will kind of like zoom you in. Are we blurry? It's really tough to tell. Okay, so anyways, what I typically do is I outline the shape of the brow that I want with the waterproof pencil, just like that. And then anywhere that I see like a lot of sparseness going on, I'll draw like brow strokes with the pencil, and I might kind of like line the top just a tad. And then I'll switch to the ink stain, and this is where I kind of like fill in all this sparseness. I think the ink stain works so well with that. I mean, look at how much that filled that in and made it look like that's my hair. And by the way, I use the shade Taupe Trap too, just so for reference if we have the same hair color and you want to know. And apparently this is the lightest shade. If they had something lighter, I would maybe consider it. This is a little warm for my hair, but you know, we work with what we have. So once I've kind of like filled out that shape a little bit, that's when I'll go in and like make strokes up by the front to like mimic. So now I don't just typically leave it like that. If I wanted to cut it out, say it got a little messy, I might use a little bit of Tarte Shape Tape to clean that up. But the brush I love for brows that I can't live without, this is a Dalton number 6. It is an angled brush with a spoolie on the end. So I love the angle brush. There's no other angle brush that compares. I've used so many, and for some, I always go back to this one, especially if I'm using kind of like a cream or like a gel to do my eyebrows. This brush just blows every other angle brush out of the water. But anyway, since this has a spoolie, what I will do is I'll just kind of take that and kind of like blend out, you know, the inner corner of the brow a little bit. So depending on whatever side works better for that, I might try the waterproof pencil. I think that one helps for filling in holes just a tad bit more. than the ink stain. So for my next step for my eyes, I don't actually do too much. I don't actually use much for a primer either, but I do like to take a little bit of my Tarte Shape Tape just like on my lids to help even out any coloring that's on there, and I'll just like use my finger to pat it out. This especially works if you cut out your brows. So again, if you guys want me to do a like full brow routine showing you how I do the perfect brow, I don't know, how I get my perfect brows when I'm not being lazy, I will show you guys how I do that. So definitely let me know down below if that's what you want. If not, no big deal, I don't have to do it. So I cannot say enough good things about the Urban Decay Naked Reloaded palette. I think it is just a palette that like everybody needs because it has everything that you need to do either a very low-key everyday makeup look, or you can make it like a little bit extra and do some smoky. There's some beautiful glitters in it. So this is like the palette that I never knew I needed until they made it, because it has the absolute perfect everyday eyeshadow, which is this shade here, Blur. This is the shade that I've been going in with every day for my, you know, go-to makeup tutorials. So I'm using the Sigma E40 brush. This is a brush that you need. I can't even explain to you how much you need this brush. It is the perfect blending brush, the perfect shape, size, everything, you name it. Love this brush, and if you don't have it, I highly recommend that you get it, because I don't know what I did. I've been using it for like probably over 2 years or so now, and I'm absolutely 110% in love. So I take a little bit of that Blur shade with my Sigma E40, and I just kind of focus it like above my crease and towards my brow, because I just want to create the lightest shadowing effect so that there's some type of contour going on with my eyes, but you can't tell if it's natural or if I am wearing an eyeshadow. So that's kind of the goal for me for like a holy grail makeup routine, is something that looks like I might not even be wearing makeup, which is great. So I really like to highlight my brow bone, so I'm going to take the shade Angel Fire, which is just a really pretty champagne-y pink color, and the tool that I use for this, like every single time without a doubt, it never fails me. This is the Sigma E30 pencil brush. It's just so perfect for like, even if you wanted to highlight on your nose or whatever, your inner corner, your brow bone, this is the perfect highlighting brush. So I'm taking this Angel Fire shade and I'm just highlighting my brow bone a little bit. If you want to make this Angel Fire shade more intense, you could wet the brush down, but I don't want anything crazy. I want it to look sort of almost like my skin just glows there, you know? And whatever's left, I just kind of like highlight my inner cheek, or not inner cheek, my inner corner of my eye. I don't know, I think it's such a beautiful, like glowing natural shade. So again, like this palette, I'm telling you, like you could do your no makeup look, you could do smoky eye, you could do natural glam. I mean, literally so many options. I just love it. So even though it's a newer palette, this is like what I was saying, like I've been looking for that palette that I can use on a daily basis or take on a trip, and I know like I'm covered no matter what eye makeup look I want to come up with. It's just that perfect. Okay, so my next step is mascara, and my holy grail mascara. I've never found a mascara I have clung onto so quickly and been obsessed with. This is the Urban Decay Perversion mascara. I am so comfortable wearing this on my lower lash line because I don't ever feel like it smudges throughout the day. It's just perfect. So usually I just layer a little bit of that onto my lashes before I apply my false lashes, because I do wear fake lashes every day, but we will get to that. So I don't know what it is. This doesn't get clumpy. I don't know like how to explain it. It's just so perfect. And even if I don't wear fake lashes, I always choose this mascara. I just think it's so perfect. I know it looks like it's clumpy. It's not. My eyelashes are literally very straight and very long, so it's not actually clumping them together. It's just how my lashes are. So when I'm doing like an everyday makeup look and I want to do false lashes, I do something that kind of wings out. So these are the Black Label Tease lashes. I love the texture that they have on them, but also just how wispy they are, and like they just lift your eyes right up. So the glue that I use is so important because eyelash glue does matter, and my holy grail eyelash glue that I use is the Kiss strip lash adhesive. It's the latex free and it's clear, and I'm telling you, your lash is gonna stay on all day. So I'm gonna apply these off camera because we don't need to waste time, and when I come back I'm gonna finish up and with a few more products that I absolutely can't live without. All right, now that I have these lashes on, I'm gonna move on to how I like blend them in. So like my holy grail product, still going with my eyes, is the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil in Black Market, I believe. And so what I do with this is I just sort of like take it along the waterline, my upper waterline, to help blend the lash band in. Then what I do to get my lashes to blend in even more, I know I've talked about this before in other videos, but this is the Doll 10 Beauty To The Point liner. What I like about this is that it is a pen liner, so on one side it's a longer bristle, really good for lining and creating like a wing or whatever, or just lining your waterline, and then the other one is a lot shorter, so it has more of a defining, so it's like to fill in and just kind of help edit any details that you need to change for it. So anyways, I usually take the line side and I'll just line all over the lash band to make sure that no glue is showing, even though the glue is clear. Sometimes it can be shiny and obvious. So I just sort of line and kind of cover up any little spot that lash glue could show or the lash band is obvious. I think this is a really important step that a lot of people probably don't do when applying lashes. So moving on to the final thing, which is the lips. I cannot tell you enough. I'm so glad I found my holy grail lip products. So basically my favorite liner, I swear I use this every time I put lipstick on. This is the Doll 10 Hydralux lip liner. I have two favorite shades, and it just kind of depends on if I'm gonna do a nude route or more of a baby pink route. So for the nude route, I use the shade Star, and for like the pink route, I use the shade Fame. For today, I'm gonna do the nude route because I typically go for nude lips. So I'm going to apply the Star liner all over my lips. And the thing about these, if you do end up ordering them, I for the longest time could not figure out how to make it longer. I kept trying to twist it and nothing was happening. Literally you gotta like push on the base to pump up the liner. So I know that now, but for the longest time I was like, I have no idea how to use them. So if you do order them, just a note. I just love these. The colors are perfect. I feel like they glide on so easily. They're not super dry. So that's kind of like what it looks like if you lined it and then kind of filled it in a little bit. My holy grail lipstick, without a doubt, I mean, it is perfect. It's everything. The Urban Decay Naked Cream. This is just my holy grail nude lipstick. I absolutely love this. So this I usually apply on top. I love the formula of it. They last so long, all day. And then if I want to leave it like that, I can, but I typically like to go for something a little glossier. So I'll use the Urban Decay Hi-Fi Shine Gloss in Fuel. I love this shade. I have every shade, but honestly, Fuel is just the one I always go to. And it is just so freaking pretty. Like, I love this combination. I always get questioned, what's on your lips, what's on your lips? More than likely it's this combination right here. So that's it for my holy grail makeup product tag video. I literally don't know what to name this. I'm gonna have a problem. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope that maybe somehow out of this you found a product that you're like, I had no idea about that, but I want it and I'm living for it. If you're not already subscribed, make sure to hit that button down below, and also hit the little bell icon so that you're notified every time I post a video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.